Hey, what's up? It's Tiffany. Before we get started on this week's episode, please be sure to send us your requests at booshakalakapodcast@gmail.com. You can find us on Twitter X, BlueShakalakapod. You can also find us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Instagram at BooShakalakapodcast. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the Booshakalaka Podcast. I'm your host, Tiffany, joined by my co-host, Pierre.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for the hundreds of people who sent me questions asking us where Jay was the last two episodes. Jay's actually pregnant. So his, wandering body part was in his throat, and whatever happened. And so he's now with child. So he's, morning sickness. Ugh. But what you been watching, Tiffany?
Morning sickness is 5 p.m. He's lying. Jay's not pregnant. Jay is male. He does not have a uterus. He does not have a vagina. He does not have ovaries or an egg. So hell, I probably don't even have eggs. All right, so I am watching. What have I watched? I finished Cross.
You didn't like it?
No.
Something's wrong with you.
I'm still trying to find out why that lady survived. It was too long. They made a lot of mistakes. I feel like the writing needed to be cleaned up, but Aldous Hodge is great to look at, so couldn't be too mad about that. And Ben's Deli, goodness gracious, they lived there.
I loved it. I thought it was a great show. I liked seeing a black detective. Like it was, I thought it was really good. The twist shocked me. Like at the end, I was like, I know you lying. So no, I liked it. I would say it's a must watch.
Okay. Well, I mean, I'm still watching my usual shows. I haven't watched anything that has stood out quite yet. So maybe, hopefully, sometime this week. I watched Jack Frost too. What about you?
Yeah, all my shows are gone besides 911 Lone Star. That is weekly. Everything's off until January. So I've been struggling. I've been really watching Christmas movies.
Who done killed Carlos' daddy?
I don't know, but I'm sure we're gonna find. I'm sure. Well, have you seen the latest episode?
Yeah, it's the guy. Yeah, I don't think he did it, but somebody related to him did it.
Mm-hmm. Interesting.
I need to go back and watch that episode to see if when the dad opened the door, if he knew who it was, like "What are you doing here?" type of thing, or if he just opened the door and it happened. I can't remember. It was I can't remember long ago.
I know they took forever to come back, but yeah. So I've been struggling because these Christmas movies are. I know they're not supposed to be just have a lot of death, but God, it's so hard.
Well, guys, sorry we can't really update you on what we've been watching. Maybe next week. Who knows? But for this review, we are doing Jack Frost 2, Revenge of the Mutant Killer Snowman, which was released in the year 2000, sponsored by Asahi. The synopsis is, the mutant killer snowman, Jack Frost, returns to kill more people during Christmas. Boom. To the point, baby.
Wow.
Come on, Wikipedia.
Okay.
Get in there.
This was so hard to watch. I don't know if it's because they leaned into the comedy element way too much this movie, but it was like if they would have just made it an hour, please do. Oh my God.
It was even painful for me, and I have seen it so many times. I have seen this movie a lot.
It was a lot. It was a lot of banter, and I'm just like, get to the killing and get to the ridiculousness. Oh my God, it was so ridiculous.
Get to the puns.
So we start the movie off. There's some guy who's being paid to dig up Jack Frost's remains. Because remember, in the first movie, of course you don't remember because it was Jack Frost. They actually buried his antifreeze liquidated corpse in a bunch of bottles, and they just buried it. And some guy is paying some guy off to dig it up. And the minute he finds out where the spot is, they shoot his ass. And they take him back. I was
thinking about Trilogy of Terror all over again.
They take him back to this science lab, and they start doing all these experiments. They put some experiments on him. They have liquid in a huge tank. Long story short,
scientists are going to be the end of the world.
Yes. Long story short, the janitor is in there cleaning, and Jack wakes up, and he becomes like a frozen block of.
So they can't figure out how to bring Jack back from the antifreeze death. They can't figure out how to do it. The janitor comes in and he's vacuuming. I guess there's a cup of coffee left on top of the tank that Jack's body is in. He bumps it one time, doesn't turn around to see what he bumped. He bumps it again. doesn't turn around to see what he bumps, and he bumps it one last time and knocks coffee in there. So I guess he just needed fucking cute for fucking coffee beans to activate
caffeine.
the antifreeze.
Caffeine. That's why he was all jacked,
even
because he was jacked up.
A Coke would have done it.
He was
Hey,
you like
is that why he was extra crazy in here?
Right.
Okay.
And he becomes a block of ice. Of course, the janitor has to die, and then he just he goes down the drain and ends up on a tropical island. Hey.
He goes down the drain. I thought he would do like Child's Play 3 and actually go look at some records, like, where's Andy at? Where's Sam at? Nothing. He immediately goes down the drain, down the hole. He knows where he's going. Like his super senses are tingling and he's ready to go.
Mm-hmm.
It was so weird, but not as weird as Sam at this therapy session.
Was it a therapy session? It sounded like he was telling the same. It sounded like he was telling this.
He was recapping the first movie for people who don't remember the first movie.
Right. But it felt like the first movie. Remember at the beginning when the guy is telling the daughter, like, the little that's what it felt like. He was rhyming and he was like, "Oh, Jack be nimble, Jack be quick, Jack poked out holes with Jack poked out eyes with a candlestick." Like, it was just like he was just doing the most in this therapy session. I'd be like, "Get the fuck out of my office because you're playing." But he was not playing. The sheriff is really traumatized by the first experiences. And I mean, which realistically, yeah, you could be traumatized by that. He's the only person though in this movie who was traumatized by it. And it pissed me off. It just took me out of it. Like, they were just acting like, get over it. It was just, come on. It wasn't that big of a deal. Like
a snowman tried to kill me. A snowman.
And
we live in Snowtown.
Like, they were. But what they're going to do this year to just take his mind out of it, his wife and their neighbors, they're going to go on a trip to, did we find out the island? Because I could not. I knew it was tropical.
They went to the Bahamas.
Yeah, they went to the Bahamas. They went to the Bahamas for Christmas this year, which doesn't sound as bad as it sounds. I think that's because I don't like the cold. So I think that a lot of people do that.
What killed me is they're in Snowmanton, Idaho, Utah, Wyoming, South Dakota, Montana, one of those northern states, those flyover states. And you hear the airline say, nonstop flight to Bahamas. No. You are flying to Dallas, Phoenix, Los Angeles,
nope.
or Houston first before you get to the Bahamas, baby.
Nope.
It is not nonstop from Snowmanton.
They got enough fuel on the plane. So
no, ma'am. Did you? So the special effects are literally 1 year advanced. They look 1 year better than they looked the year before. So they still look like shit.
They weren't too bad when he becomes alive again and his snowflake DNA comes. I was like, well, this looks better than that other desktop version of editing that they tried to do.
Let me ask you this. Why Jack Frost was only in his snowman form after like 60% of the movie was over? I thought that was crazy. Like, why are we following a carrot on its adventures?
Because money. Honestly, that's I didn't dock them a point for that because it's probably cheaper. But then again, it's just a suit. So
they get to where they're going, to the island, and we have so many stereotypical people there. We have, of course, the gay man, we have the model, we have the young girls, we have the couple, all dead meat. These are all people that are going to die. So why should we get to know them? Why are they giving us names? I don't care. And then we have our English actor who is always the man in charge, the colonel. Mm-hmm. I don't know why this is a thing. Mm-hmm. You get a British accent and you're automatically in charge. I don't think so. The British didn't win the war.
He was terrible.
Let's move on.
He was
terrible. I don't know who he was. And we have their two assistants, Captain Fun and Bobby, who is the literal only Black person in the entire movie. And he has a typical man.
Yes, he's a Jamaican man. Yes, come over with Jack Black.
He's Jack Black in I Still Know What You Did Last Summer.
Quite literally.
So we have two shipwrecked people. They're in a raft and they're arguing about their food. There was supposed to be a candy bar in the cooler. One of the guys ate the candy bar. He's like, "You left me with a stinking carrot." well, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to eat it. And then the other guy, they start fighting. He flips one of the guys overboard and he can't find him. And then all of a sudden, an icicle goes through his body. So we know that Jack was in that cooler. Jack used this raft to get from point A to point B. Jack used this raft to get from point B to point C. I don't know how he got from point A to the raft. Who knows? He just showed up. It was so
confusing. And the guy drops the carrot in the water. He's like, thanks for my carrot. Like, it just... Moving on, back at the island.
Oh, wait, so that wasn't Jack's carrot. That was just a random ass carrot they had on their cooler. Who takes
it? Yeah, it was just a random carrot. He was in the water and he needed the carrot for his nose.
I got it out. Yeah.
But
and then we had
you're right. I don't know how he got in this, and like, how did he get all the way down? Like, I don't know how sewer systems work, but it just seems highly unlikely that a toilet flushed in Idaho would end up.
I don't know, honey. I don't know. But then we have three girls. She's like, I'll take the drink. I'll take an Asahi. And her friend's like, oh, you know what? I'll have an Asahi as well. And her third was like, you know what? Go ahead and make mine an Asahi. Asahi is terrible. I love beer. Beer is my friend. IPA all day. Asahi, never. It just tastes like it's beginner beer. So like if you're not sure about beer and you haven't really got into it, try an Asahi. It had to have sponsored this movie because there's too much Asahi branding in here. Yeah, we see three babes waiting on three dudes.
Two dudes. There's only two of them.
Oh, two dudes, and they're fighting over them.
Yeah, and they're both both stupid though. Like they're like hi, hi, like
it's a resort where there's nobody there you're interested in.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's like a. I've gone with friends to like. Most recently, I went with my gay friend to a couples resort. And no, I wasn't a couples resort. Let me rephrase that. To a resort, and there was mostly couples there. So it was like, I'm sure every time I was with him, people thought that we were together. So it seems like that's the type of resort that they're at. And then there's 5 people that are younger, and everybody else is in their 30s, 40s, and 50s.
Yes.
It was the weirdest. I'd have been ready to go. Let's put it that way.
So the models are not ready to go. There are 3 of them. They invite the guys to a campfire, and they're arguing over which one is going to get which. Neither. But so
no, actually, the answer is neither, because all 5 of these mother lovers die.
Right. So one of the girls, she goes to get damn it, I forgot.
Charcoal.
Charcoal. Yes, she went to go get charcoal.
Charcoal for
the fireplace. Leave me alone. I was assuming they were gonna maybe roast some hot dogs. So she goes to get...
or s'mores.
So she goes to I just had s'mores when I went to visit my friend.
Oh, dang. not the s'mores coming back up.
Right. So she goes to get the charcoal. Now Jack is doing, I don't know, I'm not sure what...
He's a carrot. He's
just a carrot. So she's going to get the charcoal and he's trying to kill her. So what he chose... He's throwing icicles at her.
This part was funny.
He's like shooting icicles at her, but he can't really nail her. So he's like making
a circle.
Of a
tree, so yes. From up top. Yeah.
So he's circling her with icicles that she doesn't notice. She doesn't notice icicles on the ground around her. And then their icicles
she don't have no headphones on or anything like that.
Right. They're not being shot down. Like they're being shot downward, but they're landing upward. So think about what I'm saying, y'all. The tip of the icicle is pointing upward when it should be downward. But whatever.
So maybe he's able to make tips on each.
Or maybe they're double-sided icicles.
They're double dong icicles.
So he can't hit her. So he's like, oh, fuck this. And he becomes a snow anvil. Yes, I said a snow anvil. And he just smashes her. And she's just...
Oh my... I laughed out loud. Did you laugh out loud?
She's a cracked egg.
Please tell me you laughed out loud.
Yes, it was. I was like,
okay.
I wasn't expecting that. So
he said, fuck it.
So she's dead as a doornail. Now the other friends are there, and they're like, "What's taking her so long?" So she goes, and I think this is the brunette one, and she goes to look for her friend. Of course, she goes and she sees her blood splattered friend, and then she trips and falls on the icicle bed that he had made for the other one. So now she's been impaled by icicles. So that's 2 down. The blonde is now, she's like, what's going on, guys? Oh my God. So she goes to look for them. And
and then Jack starts talking to her. He's like, "Hey, girl,
yeah.
hey, where you at? Jokes, 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 jokes."
He doesn't kill her with ice though.
No, I appreciated this. She has some tongs in her hand, so I guess she was ready to slap a bitch with some tongs.
For the charcoal.
And then this part, so we're more than halfway through the movie, and we finally see Jack in his true form, or was it a hand puppet? I'm not sure, but he stabs the tongs, so it's the tongs, right through her eye, and the tongs are just in her eye, and baby, she is dead. So here we are back to what we continuously talk about with horror movies. Jack, you want a revenge on Sam, Anne, and Martha. Why are you messing with these 3 girls in the woods? Why were you messing with those shipwreck people? Why did you kill the scientist and the janitor in the lab? He wasn't doing nothing but cleaning.
Well,
they
to
are
be
always
fair,
in their own way.
Yes, but to be fair to Jack in this franchise, Jack is a serial killer anyway. He's like, he just does this shit for fun anyway. So he was killing and murdering and stabbing anyway before he became a snowman. So this is kind of just his shtick. I'm just gonna give it up to that because he's just doing what comes naturally.
Kind of like Chucky.
Yes, like Chucky was a serial killer before. Now he had some shit to do once he had a mission once he became a doll, but still, all in all. Now, if we're talking about somebody like Ben Willis, he was technically a killer before but he killed for revenge before. So yeah, you could argue like, okay, you were in a car wreck with my daughter, I got to kill you. You hit me with the car, got to kill all y'all. And everybody else he was killing, he was doing a bit much. So, but Jack is a serial killer, so he is serial killing no Kellogg's. So
I'm a fan of Frosted Flakes.
The sheriff is having nightmares, having night terrors. He has a sixth sense about these things and a sixth sense for a handy in the back alley. And he is just not
Sounds like this. Fun.
He is like paranoid about Jack coming back. Like he hears him, he sees him, like he is just, and so that's his thing throughout most of this movie. Like 50 minutes of the movie, he's just paranoid about Jack. And everybody's like, calm down. No, he's not coming back.
And it gets worse in like the last 10 minutes.
Yes.
Like wait till the last 10 minutes. He's spiraling. He's spiraling
about Jack. And everybody is gaslighting him like, oh, it's no big deal. It was just a snowman that tried to kill everybody.
Yeah, it's insane. Especially like his wife. Like
so unsupportive.
They should have got a divorce. The next thing
I was hoping she was gonna die.
Right. We hear like a big scream, and the colonel goes out to the woods, and there's a couple there, and the couple's like, look down, and it's the Anvil girl all smushed and bloody, and the colonel's like, oh, I think it might be a shock. And he's like, you know what I can do for you, couple? I can room service on me. Room service. No, bitch. Room service. Room. Flight back. And extra money in my pocket. And the couple's like, oh, room service? Yeah, we won't tell anybody about a dead body in the woods.
The colonel is the real villain in this movie.
Correct.
And it happens in other movies, mind you, but he's the typical character who owns an establishment, but he doesn't want any bad press coming to the establishment, so he covers things up when he should have told the police 87 years ago.
This is literally the premise of almost every movie: horror, comedy, thriller, children's. It doesn't matter. That's what they do. Money. Yes. Follow. Chris Tucker told us
he did
follow the rich white man.
So in the midst of this covering up this murder, we are revealed that the FBI agent for the first movie, who clearly died, is alive.
No. He had plastic surgery, and it's a great reason as to why it's played by a different actor.
He had 15 surgeries, and he only lost his eye. And so he has an eye patch, and so he's back, and he's just
Agent Manners is his name,
and he's trying to cover it up too. Like he knows what happened, but he's still trying to cover it up. Now here comes the sheriff. Oh, I remember you. You don't remember this man because this man didn't look like that. You don't remember me? Never. And he's like, I don't know who you, sir. But how you know I'm a sheriff? It was pissing me off. It was just a lot of riffraff. But they're still trying to cover it up, and they're like, the sheriff isn't dumb, but again, gaslighting.
Don't be so mad. Like, put it this way. I know you so well that when you don't like a movie, we're breezing through. We're literally like 50 minutes into this movie and we've been
No, we are
recording for 12.
not. There's so much more. It's just that there's a lot of unnecessary detail in this movie.
This next part is the part that I told you about previously when we did Jack Frost, the first one with the photographer, and her name is Sarah, apparently. I don't know. I think I might have got her name on Wikipedia.
Not. No, it wasn't.
What was it?
I don't know. Martha Ann, because she was old as hell.
Nipple lady.
Yes. So
she was a clean 45.
Yes, this model is on the beach with her gay photographer. And they are just, I mean, literally, they're doing the thing. And in the midst of him photographing her, he's like, hey, we lost the nip because her nipples aren't hard. So she's like, oh my God, it's a little hot out here. So he grabs some ice out of the cooler and Jack is the ice. How he's doing this?
It was the coffee. He's so excited and he just can't hide it. He turned into Jesse Spano with the caffeine.
So she takes the ice and he's like, oh yeah, I want this. And she's rubbing it on her nipple to make them hard. He's just feeling it. He's feeling it. Then she throws the ice in the sand, which, I mean, I'm not mad at it. I mean, what else are you supposed to do?
I'm trying to understand why the sand wasn't full of ice in the beginning. He's been moseying along the ice in his in his body. Why wasn't the ice?
Maybe he was the carrot at this time. I don't know, because I didn't understand. That was what took me out of the movie. I didn't understand the talking carrot, most of it. So it's like, you're invisible. What are you doing, Jack? So
I don't know.
And then she takes some ice and she's
like, ooh, can I have an iced coffee? And the guy's like, yeah, sure. So she drinks the iced coffee and she's taking the ice. And I was so not turned on. I can get turned on by anybody. Gay, female, trans. It doesn't matter to me. If you have it, you have it. And Miss Lady did not have it. But she was like,
Tiffany wants to be paying so bad.
I think I might be.
She wants to be paying so bad.
But anyway, he was like, and then she takes the ice, she starts crunching on it, chewing, and Jack was like, the photographer gives her a scarf which covers up the nipples she just got hard.
Right. And Jack's like, hey, that's a nice scarf. Like, I hate him. Him. He was just mad about the ice.
He was pissed. And the photographer's like, all right, ready. And she turns, she's like, ha. And then boom, her whole head blows up.
The photographer don't run. He don't scream. And then Jack becomes his form again. And so he just starts snapping pictures of himself, beating the fuck out of the photographer.
I didn't know how he died.
Well, he stabbed him with the carrot in his face. I don't know, but he was punching him, beating him up, like he was bloodied and bruised. Like, yeah, it was just pictures of him like getting mauled by the snowman. So what I don't
understand about Jack is like, why does he feel like he needs an entrance in? He could have just killed him. Why did he need to do the ice thing? Why did he need to rub on the girl's nipples? Like, why does he feel he needs to do that? Like,
because he's all about the theatrics.
Girl. Captain Fun, who is the other the guy, the activities coordinator, he comes up with a plan with Manners and Sam to lure the killer out. So they think it's just a regular killer.
Because he's one of the people working with the Colonel who's actually like all for taking down the snowman. Like he
working with Manners, not the Colonel, Manners.
But he's there, like he's supposed to be working with the Colonel. Like he's undercover, sort of, because we're also revealed that the Manners got fired. So he's not even legally allowed to do all this shit. So he's not on the force, 5150. Mm-hmm. So yeah, those three are teaming up and they plan to trap him with what, antifreeze, or antifreeze.
Because they are under the notion that, this will do it again. Mm-hmm. And sometimes it does. So Sam is at the party. They're at a Halloween party. Everybody's jamming. They get their groove on, doing the bankhead bounce. And Sam hears Jack talk. He hears Jack. He hears him. So, like, I don't know if this is in his head or he can actually hear it because nobody else seems to hear it. Yeah. So he takes off chasing the voice. And the voice pretty much stopped talking, and he does find a random ass carrot outside, and he's about to pick up the carrot, and somebody comes up behind him in a snowman costume, and he knocks him the F out.
With
And
an
baby, it's
oar.
the damn colonel in a costume.
Right. So now the colonel's like, oh, you're crazy. And
why would that be your Halloween costume?
Everyone's like, you're crazy. You need to calm down. You're taking this too far. Like, basically gaslighting this man again, as if he's just made the whole thing up, as if he doesn't know what's going on. It's a lot. It's a lot. It was
when
hard
there
to
are
watch.
A total of there's 4 other people that know that the story is true, and they're still gaslighting, like you said. And one of them is his wife. Like, come on. So then we have another dead meat. There's this lady. This is just random. It's really quick. This lady is swimming in the nude. Jack comes over to be a perv.
Why? You're at a resort.
Have you ever swum in the nude? Oh, no. I see. No. Now that's something I would have done in the beach. I would have went down to the beach.
Right, but you're
but not
in
at
the
night.
in the public pool at the resort. Not even her own public pool, like, because they have the ones that are attached to the rooms.
Swim out.
Yeah, and she's just swimming nude, and he's like being all pervy, and then baby, she tried to go up above the water. She can't because he done froze now that was some iconic shit.
He said, I wouldn't mind practicing a little brushstroke myself.
But he don't even grope her or nothing. She just, like, he freezes at the top of the water and she can't get up. And that
was cruel.
That has scared me since The Rage Carrie 2. Like, I do not like the idea of not being able to get out the motherfucking water after I know.
Rage Carrie 2.
Remember when she moved the covering over and he couldn't get up?
Was it called The Rage Carrie 2 or was it called Carrie 2 The Rage?
It was called The Rage Carrie 2. Yes, that's how they marketed that shit.
I just remember people get killed with CDs.
That happened too.
And the fat kid, was he fat from Home Improvement? He looked fat.
He was a football player. He wasn't fat. He just has that face.
Oh. So we actually see Sam and Anne, who's his wife, in the room, and Sam's like, "Oh, Anne, did you cut the air conditioner on?" And Anne's like, "Well, honey, there's no air conditioner here." He's like, "Oh, it's kind of cold." He pulls the cover up, and we see Jack in the room help him pull the cover up. Why didn't you kill him then, Jack? What are we doing?
Because he's taunting him. So Jack now has the power of weather control. So he done turned the whole island.
Storm!
He done turned the whole island into snow. Like, it's snowing. There's snow everywhere.
Jack said, wind!
And water, because you need both.
But no heart. No heart.
And everybody's outside just going with it. They're throwing snowballs at each other. They're like having a good old winter time.
Baby, it's a Christmas miracle. And y'all don't believe in global warming. Okay.
And everybody's gaslighting him again. They're like, he's like, how could this happen? They're like, well, in 1874, there was a snowstorm in Montana. I'm like,
but then he admits that it was hail. It wasn't even a snowstorm. It was hail. Like, baby, not the same thing.
And mind you, they're not acting. You can tell it's not real snow because, baby, they're all barefoot. They got
shoes on.
No, like, come on now. Like, I know y'all white, but y'all ain't that white. And they just but they just throwing snowballs, having a good old time. Like, yeah. And the sheriff is the only person freaked out about this. The only person. Even the neighbors are like, oh, calm down. It's just winter wonderland. Pissing me off. Now,
but Jack sees people having fun and he can't have it.
Right. So this couple, one of the other couples there, they're like trying to, have fun, and bam, his arm get cut off. I don't even know how his arm came off, and he just starts squirting blood all over his wife.
Wait. Right before that, we see the 2 guys that the 3 girls wanted to hook up with, and they go to a pole that is freezing.
Oh, I forgot.
And one guy's like, hey, stick your tongue out on this pole. And the guy was like, well, what if it freezes? He said, well, I'll pour my warm beer on it and we'll get you right off. Like, not a problem. So he sticks his tongue on there. And the other guy's like, ooh, piece of candy. And he runs off. The guy that has his tongue stuck to the pole has a beer in his hand. Did you notice that?
Yes. But he
does not pour it on.
Help. So Jack, being the good Samaritan that he is, he goes to help him. And
he's like, hey, bro.
His face off of the pole, and of course his tongue comes out.
That was the best special effect in the entire movie.
It was actually
so
pretty good
realistic
to the point that it
that
really
was
made me.
good.
It made me because I was it just
that was really really
a
good.
Christmas
That's
Story.
really...
This is not.
So how Jack knocks off that man's arm is he starts beaming them with snowballs. I don't know, filled
but
with
he was
steel.
beaming other people with snowballs, and their limbs weren't falling
Right.
off.
It was 1 out of 5 was like real strong.
So he starts shooting icicles, and that's killing people. But then he starts throwing snowballs, and they're just getting knocked around. And then one guy comes out of his room, and he knocks him through the damn. So Jack has super strength now because he knocks him through the cabin. And the guy's like, "Hey, get out of my bed." I hate them. I hate the background voices. He's like, "Get out of my bed." It was just a lot. Like, and he just starts hurling snowballs. People stop dying, but he does freeze a lady who was sunbathing in the moonlight. He does freeze her completely.
No, I think she might have been drunk and passed out.
Oh well, she's dead because she died like that girl from Yellow Jackets.
So screw that show. So he's wreaking havoc on everybody there, and then Manners comes out and he's like, yeah, he has a gun, and he's like, yeah, Jack, it's me and you. And Jack's like, well, I'm out of here. And then he just splats into the snow. Like, why did Jack run off? What did he? I guess maybe he thought antifreeze was in the gun. I'm confused about that part.
Yeah, well, because the antifreeze was gone because Sheriff comes out and he's interrogating a snowman somebody just built. And he throws he's like, I have concentrated antifreeze around my neck since it happened. And he throws it on the snowman, but that's the wrong snowman. Just pissing me off.
And he says that he does make a good point. He's like, how did Jack know that we were here? I feel like we're linked. And after he throws that antifreeze on there and it doesn't die. Oh, no. I'm sorry. So yeah. So they think that because Sam bled into the antifreeze when him and Jack jumped off the roof in the first movie, that some of his blood mixed in. Marla says no, but I'm like, yeah, that's definitely it. That's definitely what happened. So Sam and Manners decide to go find help.
That's how he knows where he is, because he can sense the blood.
Correct.
Yeah.
It's in the blood. Sam and Manners decide to find help, and they end up finding a room where the Colonel, Captain Fun, and Bobby have like barricaded themselves. They're like, we ain't helping nobody. We are hiding out. And he's like, well, hey guys, do you have any antifreeze? Antifreeze will kill him. He's like, no, man, we got coolant. And he's like, okay, that's the same damn thing. Come on, bring it over. And they pour all of the coolant into the pool, and they lure Jack over there. Jack falls into the coolant, and they're like, yay!
And he becomes all mushy. Like, I was wondering what they were using to make, because he becomes all mushy.
I don't know.
It works for like 5 seconds. It didn't work. He reforms. Right. He like... it reminded me of Men in Black. You have any idea how much that stings? And and he's like, and it got in my mouth. So Jack is invincible, and he shows them another power that he has acquired, because he go to Charles Xavier School for Gifted Youngsters at this point. So he gives birth, and this
we don't know that he's giving birth. He throws up and then gets the hell up out of there, and Manners runs after him by himself. Like, okay, he's dead, obviously. Like, Manners, what are you doing? We've been working. It's been a team effort since day A.
Not day A. So he throws up, and they take they take it and they put it into a snowball, and they bring it inside where they were barricaded. I guess it's the kitchen. I mean, let's just call it what it is. It's the damn kitchen.
It definitely is a kitchen. And we see Sam. Sam is spiraling now. He's like, the antifreeze was supposed to work. What is going on? The antifreeze was supposed to work. He can't believe that the antifreeze didn't work. It needed to have oatmeal mixed with it.
So, anywho, they're investigating the snowball, and they have it in like a
Tupperware?
No, it's in the cast iron skillet. And they're like, how do we know it's just not regular snowball? I'm like, because it's been 15 minutes and it hadn't fucking melted yet. Which I thought they had put it on the stove, but no, they just had it sitting there.
Still, that's enough.
And it starts shaking like a Pokeball. And it shakes and it shakes. And then it starts cracking. And they're like, is it fucking hatching? Mm-hmm. Yes, it hatches. And it's like a baby snowman. It looks like a Gigapet. It looks like a Digimon.
It's so cute.
It is. Until it's like, Daddy! And Mr. Funtime is like, oh my God.
Fun.
Captain Fun. Did you hear that? Did you hear that? And it's like, kill daddy. And it makes a giant ice. Well, I'm about to say ice pick. A giant icicle, and it goes through his eye. And he's dead as a doornail. And it gets like stuck to him. And the neighbor lady, I don't know her fucking name. She hits it with the frying pan. Marla hits it with the frying pan, and then she throws it. And then they trap it inside another, like some other metal kitchenware. And
I thought that was the part that put him in a blender.
No, not yet. Okay.
Not yet.
And they're like, oh my God, what the fuck? So yeah, that's when we skip back to Manners, and I'll let you tell what happens to his dumbass.
Manners goes off alone. He follows Jack into a shed. There's dozens of snowball children there, and they eat his ass.
Quite literally. So he's dead as a doornail. We don't care about him. Fuck him.
Out of there. I mean, is there any other way to be dead?
So
other than a doornail? There's gotta be. You
could be dead to rights. You can be
Let's try him.
So the little mini snowmen they have taken over the island. They've taken over the cabana chat. They are
over the pool, because that's the only place that they are. Let's keep
what it reminded me of? It reminded me of Gremlins. That's what it felt like Gremlins.
Yeah,
like they were just in there doing their thing, like they're killing some people, stabbing, grabbing, cutting some holes, some asses.
What? That's the remix, y'all.
And like, dude, they were like just tearing it apart. Like, it was like so awesome. It was just like they are taking over the whole thing. But like everyone else is like barricaded in the kitchen, and they're trying to figure out, how they can kill Jack, how it can be done. Now, at this point, like Tiffany said, the sheriff is like done. He's like spiraled out. But his wife is like put on her captain hat, and now she's like, I gotta solve the day. Did you notice that? How she just like flipped the switch and like she's like, all right, well, I believe
somebody needed to.
Yeah, like
somebody needed to,
because like Marla was still skeptical. Honestly, like let's be real, Marla was still.
She's been skeptical since the first movie.
Her husband is like
insane.
Her husband's like in a fetal position, like he's like no help at all, and so that's when the wife is like, "Hey, I gotta do my thing. Like I gotta like actually do something to like get this shit solved because we have to stop this guy. He's a murderer and stuff."
So they go and try to capture as many snowmen as they can until the ships that were supposed to come in the morning to pick them up arrive. They're like,
it's like the ration ships. I forgot what they were called. Like,
it's the ship.
They bring the food.
It's the ship, and I still know what you did last summer. It's the same ship, and the ship from Deep Blue Sea. The same ship. It's the same ship that comes in the morning.
The ship that's always coming in the morning.
It's gone at night because everybody's partying, and then it comes back in the morning.
Yes.
Damn it. So the snow babies, they're not going without a fight. They're just not. So they kill the colonel. Like, he's out of there.
I'm so fucking happy he died. I was so happy
we needed him gone because he's the reason. He's the reason for the season. Anne is outside and she finds a girl up there. She finds a bunch of people hiding behind the bar. Like, why aren't y'all inside? And she's like, hey, we got to get y'all out of here. And the snow babies come up and they're like, snowball babies, we make our dreams come true. When your wound is kind of rear and you wish that you were there, just close your eyes and make believe, and you can be anywhere. Okay, Granny is nowhere to be found. So Anne starts beating the fuck out of them. She starts throwing food on them. She starts throwing cups. She even takes off a shaker and throws a drink on them. And guess what? These motherfuckers explode when she throws that drink on them.
And become all bloody and gross. So she's like, wait a minute. We can kill them. So she runs back and she's like, what is in this drink? Whatever in this drink kills them. So I need to know what's in this drink. So yeah, she asked the Jamaican guy. And he's like, oh, a little bit of rum, a little bit of banana, a little bit of guava, a little bit of sugar, a little bit of spice, a little bit of everything nice. Yeah, man.
And Sam is like, oh no, I don't want that. I'll take a mint julep.
And so the wife puts it together. She's like, wait a minute. Yeah, he's allergic to bananas. And she's like, wait a minute. So when your blood mixed with his blood in the antifreeze, he inherited your banana allergy. And here go Marla. That sounds crazy. I would have just knocked her out.
I would have knocked her the fuck out. Like I wanted the guy to not want to marry her. I wanted the guy to not want to marry her after all of this is said and done.
I was so damn pissed.
Like, it's a sci-fi movie. Of course they share the same vulnerabilities. Like, so they actually tested out. This part was really cheap. So they put the snowball in a blender, and you can already see the blood at the bottom of the blender. And then they throw a banana on top of it, and then turn the blender on, and it's blood everywhere. It's like, baby, I saw the blood in the blender. Like, try again.
So they have a bunch of bananas, and it pissed me off how they were. Why were they biting them Why didn't they just peel them?
I don't know. This was their From Dusk Till Dawn moment where they put
them
or their bananas. Lost Boys moment where they put the holy water into the water guns. This was their moment. They had to do it.
Yeah, a bunch of bananas, mix it with rum, and they put it in a bunch of water guns. I was like, I feel like that'd be too thick. Even with the rum mixed it.
Swimming in bananas. Like on The Walking Dead. Michonne survived so much by bathing herself in the blood of the zombies.
Oh.
I would have just had a cologne. Like, I'm not walking around smelling like regular. I'm not walking around smelling like BO because everybody was stanky. I'm smelling like zombie blood every day, all day. I would have been a walking fucking Chiquita banana. Just call me Chiquita from this point on because there's no way. But anywho, they kill all the snow babies, and everybody's excited. They're celebrating, and Jack was like, "Fuck!" He finds one of the snow babies in the woods.
And it slowly dies in his hands. There, y'all. There's even a fucking tear. I hate them so much.
It was so dramatic.
So he's like, time to kill, and I'm like, you've been killing. So why did you need the death of your babies to go crazy? So Jack is like, all right, there's a lot of cast in this movie still alive. So let me kill the Jamaican guy. He goes and he slits his throat. He kills everyone else left except for the sheriff and Marla and the wife and the future husband
Joe.
And Joe sitting up there talking, oh my God, it's after midnight, we're actually married now, fuck y'all. So it's time for him.
That's not how any of this works.
So he ready for war, but so is Anne. And so he come and he chases them off. Now this pissed me off as well. He comes in, the couple runs off, and they barricade themselves. They leave her completely behind. So as she tries to
Anne.
Yeah, so as she tries to go and meet them, he he forms a wall around her, like a square wall. And he starts making icicles come in the wall. So it's basically like a wall of icicles. And then he starts moving closely to her. And she's just like, what?
This is where Anne redeems herself for me. Because she wasn't there for her husband, but she was there to piss on Jack. Said, yeah, your babies was screaming when we killed him, Jack. Did you hear? You didn't hear him scream. You should have heard him scream.
And he just like,
as she's being smushed.
Right. And he reforms himself as a snowman. Yeah.
She's just in his body at this point.
But here comes Sheriff. Here comes Sam. And he's like, hey, Jack. And he
banana split. I don't know what he says.
He gets a bow and arrow and shoots a banana into him. And Jack's just like, fuck. And he just explodes into soapy water. It was soap and water.
Yeah, mixed with like
red dye.
It might have been pink soap.
Yeah. And he's just looking for her, and where are you? That was pissing me off. Girl, where are you? He finds her underneath the soap and water. And he carries her off into the sunset. And she's like, oh, fuck Christmas. And he's like, what did he say? He was like, where can we go next year? And he's like, no, something, I think Italy or something. She's like, no more islands. And they just walk off into the ocean.
I think they went to go drown themselves. So they won't have to be in part 3.
That's 2000's Jack Frost.
Well, so did you see the after credits?
Yes, but I didn't understand what was happening because I saw the boat coming, but I didn't understand what was going on. 2 Asian men on a boat.
During one of the after credits, 2 Asian men on a boat, and they're crushed by a giant carrot, and they say Jackzilla. Who thought that was funny?
Somebody racist. But Godzilla came out that year. Remember?
It was huge. So then after the credits roll, we see that Joe and Mahler were still in the freezer.
I hope
leave them there.
Yes.
yeah, that was 2000 Jack Frost. I think that was the quickest review we have literally ever done.
Are you
Kudos.
serious?
It's 5:36.
Oh. Well, for it to
My
be an
rating
hour and
for
30
this-
minutes movie, well, to be fair, there was nothing, like, there was a lot of dialogue. And you know, we don't do
That's
dialogue.
true. It was like bodies biting bodies, just a lot of chat,
Yeah.
chaturanga. So for Jack Frost, I'm gonna give it a 4. Like, it was bad. It was terrible. But I could put it on in the background while I'm cleaning or something. I wouldn't mind it being played back there. And it's something I've seen it a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Again, they tried to dupe us with the cover art. Like, Jack don't look like Jack ain't had no teeth, baby.
No, he never looks like that.
And he has buttons for eyes. I laughed a couple times. It was stupid. It was a B movie. It's literally what you expect in a B movie. So if you like B movies, you'll love this. And I actually do enjoy B movies, but I think actually watching them for a plot and having to write about them for a review is taxing.
That's what was.
But just watching them, I love them.
That's what was difficult. It's difficult taking the notes, not just watching it. It's difficult to take notes for a review. So I'll give it a 4 as well. Would I watch it again? No. Would I make someone else watch it out of torture? Yes.
Yes.
But they have to watch the first one first. It's crazy because this cover art used to scare me at Blockbuster. And now I'm like, I could have watched this shit back then. Like,
you really could have.
Even the puns, like in the sexual stuff. I mean, I guess the nudity was like not for kids, but it's really something outside of the nudity that a child could watch and not be terrified.
No.
Like, it's just, it's so ridiculous. But yeah, it's something to see.
I wore the sweater because it kind of looks like snow.
It's nice. It went with the theme.
Because none of my clothes are here. Anyway, all right, everybody. So that will do it for Jack Frost 2, Revenge of the Mutant Killer Snowman. It is December, so we will be reviewing all Christmas movies this month. Next week we will be reviewing Krampus. The week after that, we are reviewing the OG Black Christmas. So the original. We did one of the remakes last year. Please go back and listen to that. Everybody hated that movie, but we thought it was okay. Like, we didn't think it was the best, but we thought it was okay, especially after chatting about it. And then for our penultimate Christmas episode, we will be joined with our best friend Jay for Gremlins. So
he would come back for that.
I invited him for that.
Oh. So see, he didn't see this is why he gets roasted at the beginning of the episodes. So yeah. Because JB
we will see you
treating us like stepchildren.
He treats me like a friend. I don't know what you and him got going on. I don't know why y'all hate each other, but
because he treats me like a stepchild and I'm tired of it.
I'm cared about. Well, guys, hope you had a great Thanksgiving. I still have food left. I had to put it in the freezer because it was way too much. But we will see you then, and I hope you are excited for our Christmas reviews because we are excited to continue on with them.
Absolutely. Keep watching. Keep listening.
Stay black. Bye.
Bye.
And all other races as well. Bye.
Where did you hide it, Dan?